shot in Dubai. The whole film is basically it's about dance, musical. It's happening in Atlantis, where you see 20,000 people have come to see that event. Obviously, it's not possible to shoot in real life. Like we shot it here in Mumbai, that sequence against chroma, and we had around 200 to 300 people. Rest of thing is completely VFX. Like 20,000 people, we have simulated crowd based on their performance and all that, which took us good 6 months. We started from the beginning. That was a major thing in the film. And the helipad sequence. These two sequences were major sequences. We started planning from the beginning. And the firework shot, first shot of the film, which is completely CGI. And a lot of people thought we have bought the footage because Dubai normally does the firework show every year. And they have, I think, Guinness World Record also in that. But that shot is completely CGI because what happens when things are happening, you are going closer to stage. Okay, you are flying through fire and all that. So that's not possible. Whatever shots you see of those fireworks, cameras more or less static because you have to be really, really away from the fire if the chopper is there. So this, what we did basically, the idea was the first shot, you show everything. Film is basically goes into flashback. So you set everything in the first shot. What's the scale of the film? Like you see fireworks happening, then you see smaller tiny bits change in the background. Camera starts traveling through fireworks and finally reaches. You see 20,000 people cheering and finally it reaches to stage. The shot was around 1.5 minutes. We started building assets that took us around 3 months based on the fireworks which Dubai had. And then finally we started comping and rendering another 2 months, you can say, because this sequence was rendered abroad on Amazon. We used 500 servers. Because it was not rendering, it was taking around 20 to 24 hours per frame. So we used 500 servers for this. And we were left with just 1 week to finish this shot towards the end. This was the last shot which went in the film. Then helipad sequence, I will say very difficult sequence. It was around 4 to 5 minutes long. When we did the costing, obviously we did it for 3 minutes long sequence, but it was like 5 minutes long. The challenge was every shot at a camera move. The idea was for this sequence, as if you're shooting with chopper. So shots which required were like, continually moving shots, not static shots. Though we shot plates first, that was a different area of Dubai, which SRK said, this is not interesting and all that, let's reshoot it. When we came back here, we shot whole sequence on chroma. Then again we went and shot plates. That was much better. Definitely we had all the angles. And it was very challenging also, how do we shoot those plates? Now obviously we are going to go on top of the building, but how do we shoot it? Because whole shot had a camera move. How do you shoot plates exactly and stitch it? What we did before, based on Google Earth, we planned everything. If the camera is looking in the east, what kind of buildings you see. So we exactly planned where the sunlight is, what time is going to be, if you shoot these places which require sunlight backlit. So obviously we need to shoot east first in Dubai and then come to west in the end. So this is how we planned everything based on the Google map. So every shot had a breakdown. One shot was DOP, one shot was with me, and we were on top of the building. We started shooting. So we were checking out in our storyboard exactly how much area you see, and we shot most of the plates. Some plates we shot with stitch, little bit camera move and all that. We could get away with stitch shots, but other shots are like which had a camera move. We had to kind of simulate exactly, very like 90% should be there. Then we can speed up the thing and all that, match it. That happened. One shot we couldn't shoot, the major shot where you see both of SRK saved the Korean guy and the camera starts pulling out. We made a computer generated model and textured it, and we made a completely CGI. That was a big challenging, and that sequence also took around because there were 50 people on the helipad and kind of doing a chroma key, then various elements like liquid is also generated in those shots. It took us around 4 months to finish that. A team of good 20 people working on it. Then obviously Jack fight, the 2 time-slice shots where you see SRK hanging in the air and all that. We didn't shoot it with 60 cameras or 80 cameras. We shot it normal way. They are harnessed and we moved the camera. So it was much quicker, and Farah started commenting, oh, Mehuna took so much time and all that. He shot time-slice were taking 2 days. Now how can you do these kind of things very quickly? So this is how it is. So you can say, things have evolved. We have seen a lot of things. Exposure has happened. So it's easier to do this way. Then clean up wires and all that. It looks correct. And add some elements which are like static in the shot. It looks kind of pretty okay. Then young Jackie Shroff, obviously the first time, kind of made him somebody look younger by at least 15 to 20 years. That really worked. There were some good shots in the film. Like that sequence was not more than a minute. Good 15 to 20 people worked on it. We did a lot of face makeover, kind of tucking these areas in, cleaning his face completely. Like a lot of places we generated 3D passes where you could replace it, and obviously eye bags and all that we reduced. So we kind of made him look younger by 15 to 20 years. Fire played really important role in the film. Whenever Deepika and SRK, they come together and you see things around them catches fire. Those were pretty challenging, and the first time when the promo came out, his shirt catches fire. That was a big challenge, and it had to be done in a week's time. And we shot a lot of plates for that. How fire is going to react at high speed, when you shoot it at 96 FPS, how it's going to react, how do you see flames. So based on that, we created everything in VFX. It really looked real. A lot of people appreciated the way we have done it. For the background beautification also, like in that same song, you see they are dancing. That shot was shot in National Park. That was quite dry because it was not rainy season and all that. We shot it in summer. And Farah said, how to make it a little beautiful and all that. So we actually replaced completely dry parts in VFX. Like we have done it in our previous movie, Chennai Express. Here also we did it. We had put butterflies, other things, other elements, light cutting through trees, those kind of things we added and made it look beautiful. Obviously it's a song, so it requires that kind of treatment. So main sequence in the film, obviously it was finale, World Dance Championship, where we had to show 20,000 people cheering. Obviously it's a song, it's a medley song, and most 75% you can see camera is moving. Obviously for those shots it had to be done in VFX. Whole crowd was generated in VFX. And for the static shots we took crowd plates, shuffling them and kind of multiplying them. That was easy. But for the crowd, obviously our sets took around 4 to 5 total, 3 months it took with different variations of crowd cheering, like some 6 to 7 different variations of crowd cheering, then kind of combining them in the software, multiplying them and rendering them. Rendering also took around, per frame it was around half an hour to 45 minutes, and we had around 15 minutes of crowd sequences in the film. That was quite big, and it had crowd, it had floodlights, then backdrop of Dubai, which we had taken plates. We had taken single images also, which kind of, we animated some lights on the buildings to make it look as if it's alive. Overall, 200 people work on this project, and it took us good 8 months to finish this project because there were a lot of stages in the project. There were fights, time slice, beautification, fire sequences, helipad, and finale, which includes semis also. Yeah, I feel, there should be some more VFX movies. Not saying only superhero movies and all that, but directors should look at VFX because it saves a lot of cost. It saves a lot of cost. Things which you can't shoot it, very difficult to shoot it. Like I said, Atlantis, it's impossible to shoot it there in Atlantis. Putting everything on top of swimming pool. If you see that area and then putting the crowd and all that is very difficult in real life. I mean, Dubai we shot mainly interiors, outside we just took plates and all that. If you have to shoot this finale in Dubai, it will take good 2 months to shoot because we shot it 20 days here for that finale in Film City. So if you shoot it there in Dubai with all, with everything and all, it will take more than 2 months and the cost will increase it like hell. 2 months you can easily say, your 2 crores will go every day. The cost will be that much. You're getting at least 3,000 to 4,000 people, and it's not going to look as big as what we have done. Coming here, we are now working on The Fan, which is a normal movie, SRK movie. So I think once the poster comes out, everybody will know exactly what it's all about. And so now we are waiting. So it's an interesting project. And then obviously we being a production house, and we are also planning to do 2 to 3 movies in-house. We are going to produce that. So that work also we are going to get. So let's hope for that. We're going to start. And another movie with obviously SRK doing in-house. So let's see when after Fan which movie he does, so that will start. We are in Bollywood. Obviously budgets are not going to be that much. we can't compare ourselves with Hollywood because they have good budgets. Even VFX budgets are like $200 million, which we can't. We can't compare at all with them. We make movies, like our movies, like, budgets are like, you can say, smaller movies start with 5 to 6 crores. The big movies goes to 150 crores. So in that, obviously, they have a budget of like Ravan and Krish, they kept good 25 to 30% budget of their whole film. But other movies, like, it varies from 5% to 20%, depending on the scope. Budget should increase, keeping in mind VFX plays a very integral part of Bollywood nowadays, because initially when we were doing 200 shots for a movie, now we end up doing more than 2000. See, I feel, like as we are around 200 people, so it becomes very difficult to, manage in terms of, we kind of break even normally. So we have to do one big project every year to kind of, break even. And then whatever comes on top of that can be, profit. But the thing is, every year whenever we do some projects, 2 to 3 months we go without working. So all the profits which company makes, it goes into salaries and all that. That becomes really, really tough part. What I will say, that overlapping has to happen every project. So you don't waste those 3 months. That is a major problem. Every time, since I will say, since 2006 it's been happening like this. So any VFX company just work for 9 months. So those 3 months are very critical. We should have more VFX films in India, like South. They are doing a lot of VFX work. I mean, Srinivas, who's one of the best supervisor, he's doing Bahubali and he's doing Shankar's movie. I mean, that way they have really evolved. They have done Robo. In Bollywood, definitely we have done 2 biggest movies, which is Krish and Ravan, which is done here. So obviously VFX saves a lot of cost. As a director should see to that they can use VFX nicely, because the awareness has to be created. I feel a lot of directors, I feel they are not aware of what are the possibilities of VFX. There should be some courses for directors as well, VFX courses, where they understand what are the possibilities. Like in Hollywood, when they do filmmaking course and all that, there are VFX courses also inside their syllabus. So obviously they are aware of it, so they can utilize it better. I think we have got a lot of exposure in 3D animation field, which are Disney movies and all that. So a lot of movies come here, like if you see other studios, they are working on those kind of movies. So people who come out from there, if they started teaching, they teach it better, definitely. But for the VFX, still kind of, it's pretty new. Not more Hollywood movies are coming here. What you see is basically cleanup work, wire removals, rotoscopy. That kind of work is actual compositing. I don't think it's coming here. So once that starts coming in, you get more exposure, and more people will learn that, and some more people, who wants to kind of start teaching. Obviously that will really help. For all the latest development in VFX and VFX industry, please log on to Animation Express.